For today's lesson, we're going to take a look at systems of inequalities, word problems. So basically, we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing by graphing the inequalities. The only difference is we're going to put a little bit of real world context to our inequalities. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to write a linear inequality in two variables that models a practical situation, solve practical problems involving linear inequalities in two variables, interpret and determine the reasonableness of the solution of a linear inequality that models a practical situation, and write a system of inequalities in two variables that models a practical situation. So the directions for each and what you're going to do for each part is number one, define your variables x and y. For this particular activity or set of notes, I've already gone ahead and just put the x and y, but as always, you can use whatever variable you like as long as you define your variables. The second step is to write your system of linear inequalities that represents the problem. The third is to graph your system in Desmos, and for D, choose all possible solutions to the system. Okay, so for each of these, we're going to follow those steps. I am going to go ahead and link the Desmos graph in there in the notes as well. I am going to graph it by hand. As always, graphing by hand, sometimes the points are exact, sometimes they are not. I know with a couple of these, we will be working with decimals. So I wanted to include the Desmos graph so you can see exactly what the solution or the graph looks like. All right, so before we begin with that, let's go over a little bit of vocab that goes along with each inequality symbol. So when we have strictly greater than, we can use words like is more than, is greater than, is larger than, or above. For greater than or equal to, we have words like minimum, at least, is not less than, is not smaller than. For less than, we have is smaller than, is less than, below. And for less than or equal to, we have maximum, at most, not more than, is not greater than. All right. So let's take a look at our first example. So we have John is going to the store to buy posters. Small posters cost $3.50 and large posters cost $6. He needs to buy at least 7 posters and spend no more than $40. All right, so after reading the problem, now we're going to go in and define our variables. So we know that we are talking about small posters and large posters. So I'm going to go ahead and label my X is going to be my small posters, and my Y is going to be my large posters. Okay, now for the first inequality, I have here where it says he needs to buy at least 7 posters. So at least 7 posters tells me that my small posters, which is plus my large posters, which is Y, have to be at least 7 of them. So that inequality is going to be X plus Y is greater than or equal to 7, and we use that because of at least. Now it also tells me that it can spend no more than $7. All right, so spending no more than $7 based on the inequality. I have $3.50 because each of my small posters is $3.50. So I have $3.50x plus 6y because my large posters are $6 each, and I can spend no more than $40. So I have to have less than or equal to 40. All right, so now that we have determined our two inequalities, now going to go ahead and graph them. All right, so my first one, but before we graph, we have to actually label our X and Y axis with numbers we're going to use so we can actually count. We'll just go by ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do the same with my X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So looking here at my first inequality, I have that X plus Y is equal to 7. Again, you're going to graph this in Desmos, but I'm just going to give you a graph here as well. All right, so I know that it is a solid line, so I'm going to go ahead and connect my points. And again, this is not exact, hence why I wanted to use Desmos. And since I have that it is greater than or equal to, I'm going to go ahead and shade above. So we'll just do this one blue. So I'm going to shade this entire area here. Okay. Now let's take a look at our second inequality. This one is more so the reason why I wanted to go ahead and use Desmos to help us graph, because of the fact of it not being exact. In the second inequality, we have decimals. So when you solve it for slope-intercept form, you will get decimals like 6.6667 as your y-intercept and like 0.58 as your slope, which we can graph, but it's just not going to be exact since we're used to using those integers to graph, or exact integers, okay? All right, so again, my graph is not very exact, but we do know that we're going to shade below the line. So I'm going to go ahead and shade below the line, and you can see that here is where my inequalities overlap. So this here is our solution area. So right now what I want you to do is pause the video. I want you to graph it into Desmos on your own, and I want you to take a look at all of the possible solutions. All right, so based on our graph in Desmos, because again, we can see that one a little bit better, and looking at those points, you can actually go ahead and type those points in, and you see that those points are there. So based on our solution area, we see that the points for small and for large is the solution. So we can color that in. 6 small and 2 large is a solution, and 8 small and 1 large poster is a solution. So if we take a look at that, they just look like points. So you have 8, 1, you have 4, 4, and you have 6, 2 as your points. All right, so again, remember that when we're talking about a system of equations, solutions are the points that are inside of that shaded or overlapping region. It's not points that are on the line, even though we're dealing with two solid lines. Yes, two solid lines. The solutions on those lines are not a solution to the system. So remember, the point has to work for each of the inequalities in the system. All right, let's take a look at the third one. It says Juan is doing a fundraiser for a band. He needs to sell at least $60 worth of items. Candy bars cost $5 each, and t-shirts cost $15 each. He must sell more than 4 candy bars. All right, so again, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and define our variables. So I'm going to go ahead and define my candy bars as my X. And my shirts as my Y. So we know that candy bars cost $5 each and shirts cost $15 each, and that Juan needs to sell at least $60 worth of items. So we're going to have 5x plus 15y. And again, going back to that vocabulary of at least, we're going to use the greater than or equal to inequality, and that is greater than or equal to 60. Now for our second inequality, that last line said that he must sell more than 4 candy bars. So again, we're using X as our variable, and he must sell more than 4 candy bars. So X has to be greater than 4. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and graph. But before we graph again, we're going to go ahead and label our graph or our lines on the graph. And for this one, we can go ahead and count by, let's go ahead and count by 2s. All right, I'm just going to zoom this in just a little bit. All right, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Same here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. All right, so looking at our inequality for our first inequality, we have 5x and 15y. So again, we can kind of use that thumb method that we've used before, except for we're just going to use it with inequality. So if we're looking for where it's going to intercept my x-axis, again, I can cover up that 15y, and I'm left with 5x is greater than or equal to 60. So divide both sides by 5, and I get, I'm just going to arrow this down over here, that x is greater than or equal to 12. And then we can do the same for the 15y, do the thumb method, solve for y, and we get that y is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so we know it's going to intercept my y-axis at 4 and intercept my x-axis at 12. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at this second inequality where it says that x is, before we do that, we have to actually connect our points. Since we have greater than or equal to, we're going to have a solid line. And since it is greater than or equal to, we're going to shade above. Oops, I was just going to move on to the next part. So I'm going to shade all of this area here because it is greater than or equal to. All right, now let's look at our second inequality, and we have that x is strictly greater than 4. So now we know we're going to have a point at 4, and since it is strictly greater than, we're going to have a dashed line at 4. And we want those values that are greater than. So the values that are greater than are going to be to the right of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and shade. All right, so we want all of those points that are in that shaded area are solutions. Taking a look over here, again, if we look at Desmos and graph it in Desmos so that we can get exactly what we're looking for. Again, if you take a look there, that tells us that 7 candy bars and 3 shirts is the solution. 9 candy bars and 1 shirt is a solution, and 10 candy bars and 5 shirts. So since this graph is a little bit more nicer than the one we did before, we can actually show that 7, 3, it's a little bit nicer, not too much. We can show that 7, 3 is a solution because it's in that shaded area. We can show that 9, 1 should be maybe about right here is also a solution. And we can show that 10, 5 is a solution. Again, this isn't exact why I posted the Desmos graph along with it so you can actually see each of those points actually plotted on the coordinate plane. You can see which ones are inside of that shaded and overlapping region and which ones are not. All right, now for the third one, wherever it is on this paper, here we are. It says there's a neighborhood watch meeting this evening and the community leaders need your help to set up the room. There are at most 12 circular and square tables that can be placed in the function room for at least 60 guests. Suppose 10 people can be seated around the circular tables and 6 around the square tables. All right, so again, we need to define our variables. So I'm going to go ahead and define our x as the circular tables. And y as the square table. So this is just talking about people around each of the tables. All right. So now what I want to do now is set up my inequality. So based on this, I know that 10 people can sit around the circular. So I have 10x. And I know that 6 people can be seated around the square table. And I have plus 6y is going to be greater than or equal to 60. The next one I'm going to have is there are at most 12 circular and square tables. So at most 12 circular and square tables. So we know that x plus y is going to be less than or equal to 12. All right, so to test your understanding, what I want you to do is graph it on paper or graph it on your notes, similar to what we did in the other examples, but I also want you to graph it in Desmos, just like I did in the previous examples. You can type in your two inequalities and then type in those points. Underneath, you can click label and it will show you which of these solutions are inside of the shaded region and which ones are outside of the shaded region. Once you have done that and answer the questions, I have attached the solution or the Desmos solution to this problem.